chest. Back on my shit. Last week's leg day was very lackluster, which means today's chest day has to be exceptional. I have a lot of energy though. Took 2 break days, went kayaking. Oof, very relaxing. And it means that I have a bunch of pent-up energy that I need to exude. First, a warm-up set though. How are you guys doing? Did you take a weekend, take a break? What was your last lift day? How was it? What did you do? Let me know. We're not gonna try and hit a chest PR on dumbbell bench press, but we are gonna try and do it on the incline machine. So just 70s for today. Ooh. Every time I pick up this weight, it reminds me that I'm a little out of my league here. I really shouldn't be able to do this at my weight, but I gotta work really hard if I want those fake natty accusations, man. But if I keep talking about it, is that counterintuitive? You know, I need to think about the reverse psychology here, right? If I keep saying it, does that mean that everybody will assume that I am natural and I'll never get the accusations? Or is it gonna reverse psychology? Hey, hold on. I'm trying to metagame this. Until then, though, I'm just gonna manhandle this weight that I really shouldn't be able to. 70 pounds, first set. I'm gonna shoot for around 6 to 8 reps. That's around where we got last time, but I don't really touch the dumbbell press on non-chest days, so let's see. Hopefully it feels extremely light. Let's go. Ooh. Not bad at all. Not like it's anything astonishing or whatever, but I did feel pretty stable while doing the weight. Not a lot of, tremors or shaking, because of how heavy it is. So, and I'd consider these heavy dumbbells, Once you get past like the 50, 60 pound threshold, these dumbbells are pretty big. They make me look pretty small. So, I'm not the biggest guy either, but still, when the dumbbells can like eclipse your entire torso, I think you can call them big at that point. So personally, I find it really cool that I can do that. I can just do that. It didn't feel super hard, but it didn't feel super easy. It feels like the weight I'm supposed to be doing. And hopefully we can go up in about a week's time. I'm not gonna go down either. I know it was only, I think it was, if you include the first setup rep, which I normally don't, it was 5, but it was 6 if you include it, and it's 5 if you don't, which I don't usually include it because when you do a setup rep and you don't have a spotter, you kind of have to like shimmy your way up a little bit. But then after that, using strict form, I got 5. So whatever metrics or rigmarole you want to use. I feel like I'm starting to come into that point where I might not be able to go up on weight, but I said that last time, so we'll see what happens. And by that I mean taking time. I haven't had to take time on any weight so far for any exercise, but that should all be due to the fact that I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things. I don't want to stop here, so I'm gonna do whatever I can to not stop my progression until I get to at least the 100-pound dumbbells, right? Because if I keep going at the rate I have been for the past 2 months, I'll be at the 100-pound weights in like 2.5 months. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I don't even know if like at my body weight that's possible, but if I try hard enough, I can make it possible. Just eat more eggs, idiot. Cholesterol. Who knows? Maybe if you mix them at the right quantity, you'll become Superman. Is that movie out yet? I don't know. The James Gunn Superman? I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers or anything. Like, I'm not gonna be able to spoil it, but I feel like it's gonna surprise a lot of people that, like, when Superman has a little bit of a jolliness, joy, takes itself a little less serious, it'll probably be a better movie. No offense to the other movies, but they just weren't like, I didn't like them that much even as a kid. I was like, oh, this is for the adults who grew up reading Superman and not for the kids who are getting into Superman, right? I don't know, he's kind of like a boring hero in concept, so you kind of have to give him that, like, comedic flaw of, like, being the butt of jokes and, like, not fitting in and failing even though he really shouldn't be able to. Instead of just being the perfect chiseled man baby, you know, like, you know what I mean. I'm excited for the Lex Luthor, though. The guy who's playing him, I forget his name, but he also played Beast in the Back to the Past X-Men movies. So, you know, all things considered, I think it'll be pretty good. Oh god, that rep was hard. Holy shit. I wonder if I should even count it. I'll have to look back at the footage, but that left arm was lagging behind. For those of you who missed it, I made a video of like the rice training thing where you get a bucket of rice and you basically just wiggle your hand around it in various different orientations. And I'm wondering how that's going to affect all of my dumbbell exercises, whether it's chest, biceps, technically pull-ups, you need your forearm, anything where you're gripping stuff, you know. I wonder how it's going to affect that. Hopefully positively. I mean, it'll either be neutral or positive, right? Because I wonder how much stronger I am going to get just by, like, doing it. Your forearms aren't worked a lot on chest movements because most of the support is coming from just it being above my arms and my arms hold it up. But obviously, since it's dumbbells, you have to use your forearm at least a little bit to keep it in place, and sometimes when you have reps like that, you kind of have to stabilize a lot. So it only makes sense that I'd feel a little fatigue in my forearms currently. But that also might just be because I did like a pretty intensive forearm workout yesterday. I'm a big fan of forearms and them in a physique. So of course I want mine to be chiseled, lean and huge like the rest of everything, but a little more honestly, because like forearms and calves, for instance, I don't wear shorts a lot, but when I do, you know, those are the muscles that people see. That's what shows. And no matter what anybody tells you, oh, I don't care what other people think about me. It's not that I care what other people think about me. It's just that I want to be like, oh, that guy goes to the gym. You know, like, oh, if I want to go to the gym, I can ask that guy. You know, oh, I like working out. Let me talk to this person about working out, right? Because of course I want to talk about it with people and make friends, make buddies. You know, be chill as hell. Boom! How was the second rep easier than the first? That's fucking wild, okay? That's weird. All right. We've been waiting to go up on this thing for aeons. And by that I mean like probably 3 weeks, because I literally haven't been doing this machine for very long. So for those of you who are new here, I'm about to use a machine to hit my leg max on a separated arm exercise, because for some reason this machine is very easy, but it makes me a lot stronger, like on other things besides this machine. I don't just mean like on it. I mean in proportion to other things, it does actually make me a lot stronger. Let's make sure the right settings are on here. That might be too low, but whatever. Okay, this machine has daunted me for too long. Ooh, like 225, that's 2 plates, right, usually? So what would that be minus 45? That'd be 185, right? Or 180, okay? So this is 180 pounds separated. It's just 90 pounds on both arms. Duh, fucking idiot, Jesus Christ. Why do I make the math hard, okay? I'm fast, but I'm stupid. 180 pounds, right? Okay, so that means this is 115 per arm, okay? We did this, I think either the first or the second time we used this machine, but it was really hard, okay? It was like, I don't know, it was difficult, but now 80 pounds on each arm is just too light. We were repping that out, okay? It was super easy, but now, hopefully, this will be a challenge, and we'll continue to get that boost of strength that it was giving us, you know, in proportion to, I think, we started going up really fast on the dumbbell bench press because we started doing this machine. And it also made us much better at our incline bench press, like to an extent where I would do my dumbbell inclines and go, holy shit, I can't even do the 35s, and do this to, oh my God, I can rep the 40s the next push day. So it works. Let's try and max it out even further. We use this grip because it activates the upper chest more because you're pushing all the way up to here, right? Instead of like this, we're pushing up to here. So let's frickin' do that, I guess. I don't know. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that was pretty hard. I should count my reps, dude. I know I film and I can go back and count and hold that, retain that knowledge afterwards, but I should really be counting. Because I'll be like, oh, I remember on this exercise I did like 4 reps, and then it was like, no, you did like 7. Because I concentrate really hard when I'm lifting. Like, I don't count the reps, I just go get it up, right? I don't know what kind of witchcraft it is, but it is really good for me. It works really well for me. It wouldn't be great if I didn't record, because then it'd be like, is it time to go up? I don't know, man. Shit feels heavy, and then I did like 12 reps. Like, it happened all the time when I worked out by myself, but now I got you guys. It's great, but anyways, I think that, honestly on that, I think I did about 5 reps. There will be a pop-up right now saying how wrong or right I am. I hope I was wrong in the sense that I actually did like 7, because then it wouldn't be so dumb for me to go back and do it again, which I am gonna do. I usually cut it out, but because I like chug a thing of pre-workout before this, and the way like my body works, I'll burp a lot after I did like a really hard set. I don't know, the gas is just like, oh, you grunted too hard, we're coming out. 115 pounds per arm. This is separated. They are not connected whatsoever. That's just the weight I'm doing per arm. Even though it is a machine, that's almost one of me per arm. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. It's only 10 to 15 pounds off my body weight, even though it's a machine. Like, this makes the weight easier to manage, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really matter when you go this heavy. Like, at that point, it's like, well, that's still pretty chill. So, ooh, okay, we'll give it a second. We'll give it a second. That was 5, right? Which means then if I did 2 sets in a row that were 5, that would be a little weird. I think on the first set I forgot to drive my heels into the ground because, I don't know, strict bench press form it's not that hard. A lot of people will, there's a way you can maximize it for strength, for like powerlifting and stuff, but that isn't necessarily strict form, that's competition legal. If you really want to not like assist yourself in any way and just use brute strength, you know? You're not trying to break any records except for your own personal ones, keeping your back on the bench, heels to the ground. It's good because then all you're doing when you're pushing your heels into the ground is kind of grounding yourself and giving you a place to kind of push off of. But you shouldn't be going onto your toes because then you're gonna actually assist your arms by pushing yourself up, right? If you just do your heels, the worst that's gonna happen is your heels slide out from under you and the machine, you know, cranks back down and you don't hurt yourself because you're on a machine, right? So, what is it, like driving into the ground or whatever it's called? It's a basic, like entry-level bench press knowledge thing. Just plant yourself, okay? And I think I forgot to do that on my first set. And then halfway through this, I was like, oh, right, idiot. Remember how to bench press. And I planted my heels and then I was like, oh, all right. And for 2 reps there, it was pretty easy, but then it caught up to me again and it was hard on the 5th rep. But yeah, that was pretty good. I think that this should be my rep weight from here on out. If I'm able to do 5 reps on the second set, yeah, this is good. This is where we want to be, baby. Is that Rihanna? Yes, and it's really loud. Usually I only do 2 sets of this machine for that exact reason, but we got a couple extra reps and I'm not mad about that. I'll come back for you, balls. Oh wait, actually this one's too long. I will not come back for you, I lied. Time for my most endorsed shoulder exercise, but I think actually soon what I'm gonna end up doing is switching each week in between shoulder press and these, just to give my body the variety, I guess. Because you never want to get stagnant, especially on shoulders, man. What do you want, tiny shoulders? That's like the key to having a lackluster physique. Shoulders are so integral. Oh yeah. Ooh, I love doing heavy weight on a shoulder exercise. Ugh. Gotta lower this thing. Actually, no. I think it has to go up, right? You know, I'm no science-based lifter, and I never will be, you have my word, but if you want to lift heavy, there are some certain ones you can listen to, and they'll give you the tips and tricks to just go up and weight. You know, you've been stupid your whole life doing an exercise this way. Try it this way. Same movement, do it better. Do more weight, feel better. Grow muscle faster because you're doing more weight. There's those science-based lifters, and then there's the ones that like, actually, you know, those guys, you know, no offense to anybody who's small, because I'm not big. I'm not a big guy, okay? I don't have a lot of muscle yet, but you will never catch me, even once I get big, going, actually, that's not optimal form, especially to somebody who's like bigger than me, because like, somebody being bigger doesn't mean they know more. It usually just means they've been training for longer, okay? It doesn't mean they know more at all. But there's still, like, if it's a big guy, there's no reason to tell them to like switch it up unless they're lying about being natural. Then there's a reason to call them out. But like, if it's just a big dude who's been training for 10 years, who's like, here's my favorite exercise, or what I do to grow chest, or just being an idiot online, you can just let him. I understand that it's content, but I hate it, okay? It's so annoying. I don't know, and here I am making content in the gym at 2:30 in the morning, so who's annoying now? But still, read the room, I guess? I don't know, I'm not trying to like skinny shame anybody. Because, again, just because you're smaller doesn't mean you know less than somebody. That's never the fact or the truth or anything. It's just like you're opening up this door for people to just hate on you. Because, obviously, most of the people who go to the gym and consume gym content are not smart enough to understand the concept of relativity. Okay? Your size is not relative to your intelligence on the matter. Most trainers, right, are not going to be the biggest people, but those who can't do, teach. And that is a saying that I believe in, you know? If you're not good at something, you probably know why you're not good at something, and therefore you can teach somebody how to be good in that way. It's not just because you're smaller that you shouldn't critique somebody, but there's a non-zero amount of reason for you to not critique somebody because they're bigger than you. So that's my hot take, but I'm just annoyed by like those science-based creators. Next push day is shoulders day, and I think I am gonna actually start with shoulder press next time. Usually we start with handstand push-ups because I'm a fiend for that exercise, but I think we're gonna start with shoulder press so I can max it out, because I genuinely don't know what my max is on it because I never start with it. So it'd probably be smart to actually do the the exercise that's good for targeting the muscle first. The price to pay for gains, man. Sometimes it's kind of like a job where you have to be like, oh, this is the thing I should do, I guess, you know. Work smarter, not harder, or whatever. Even though it's so much fun to just like suffer. Speaking of suffering, on this exercise I'm doing right now, the cable shoulder flies, but the strap flies. I don't know. Let's call them the strap flies for condensed terminology. I think that genuinely this can be really bad for your shoulder if you do it wrong, because I was doing it wrong for the first set. What you're supposed to do is like be on top of the attachment so that when you move up it's unilateral to your muscle. Or what is it? What plane is this one? Is this the lateral plane, like across your body this way? I don't know. It doesn't necessarily matter. But that plane, the one that goes through your body this way, right? To move along that without having to like pull the wire across the back of your body, you have to stand right at it. And I wasn't doing that for my left shoulder because, I don't know, for some reason I have a bad habit of not being able to translate my form to each arm, right? That's why I like machines. That's why I like doing the two-handed exercise. For this one, I wasn't standing right on top of the attachment. I was like ahead of it a little bit, and I was pulling it around my body, and I felt it in my shoulder joint. I was like, ooh, that hurts. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, and I was. Gonna try a different bar for overhead tricep extensions today. Mostly just because I saw a video doing it online. I know, new change of pace. I've never done anything like this before in my life. Just kidding, I do this every other day. But if this works out, bye-bye to the freak attachment. I'll be sad to see him go, but not really. It didn't feel like it was working all that well, so. That was too many reps. I'm gonna go up on weight. We're not here to do cardio, what the hell? Might have to put my shoes on for grip on this thing, because it's like, the reason I've always hated attachments like this is because they're just not comfortable, okay? And sometimes it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter if it's comfortable. If I can get the weight up, it doesn't matter. But like, it doesn't make it easier. The sad thing is that like the amount of pre-workout I do isn't excessive or anything, but it's enough to make me like not really feel pain. So I just have to try and gauge it on that level of like, if I feel it a little bit while I'm on this caffeine that I'm jolting on right now, then it's probably working pretty good. Putting on shoes, who the fuck am I? Disgusting, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Woo! Ah! 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 Was one of the hardest setups of my life for an exercise that wasn't even that hard. This is like 57 pounds. That's more than I was doing last week on a different attachment because I'm an idiot, okay? Full bar, like all holds bar, I'm an idiot, okay? I don't know if I'm even saying that saying right, but you know what I mean. Much harder and much less like I was doing cardio, so overall, net win. And it was only hard to set up and not actually hard to do. It's just like the angle you're at. A lot of people like to do the overheads just standing straight up. That is so, one, it's bad for leverage. Like you're also working your shoulders because you're holding the weight up, all of this stuff, right? So it just makes sense to do it this way. At least that's what I've been told, and what the minimal research I've done has led me to that conclusion. So, Ah! Boo! Ah! Okay, straight bar time. I looked at a couple of studies and stuff like that. Again, not a science-based guy, just, you know, I do my due diligence and I look into things because I'm not a fool. Apparently, it just makes sense to switch up your exercises a lot. And by a lot, it's like 3 to 6 months. You don't want to stay stagnant because then your body will become like adapted to doing those exercises and therefore get less muscle growth and less strong for the same amount of work. So it only makes sense to switch it up. You can keep some core exercises. Like for me, it's going to be the dumbbell bench press, the straight bar pull down or rope pull down between the two. And then for shoulders, it's going to be that shoulder fly. But then I'm going to mix in the shoulder presses, the handstand push-ups, any other thing, maybe like a shoulder press machine, military press if I ever feel like doing that. That godforsaken exercise I hate so very much, but you know, switch it up basically, because the human body is meant to adapt to things over time. And if you let it, you'll just be wasting your time eventually. So, you know, mix shit up. Ugh. Too heavy. Ooh, I don't know what happened there, but I think trying that new attachment made my arms a little more tired than I'm used to. It's okay, 65 pounds it is. Maybe it's because I still have my shoes on, like a normie. How dare I? Ooh. All right, time to see this delightful pump. They've taken away both buckets now. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel lost without a buddy in here to help me. Okay, let's see how this rest day did me. The hair was crazy. It's okay. The physique is coming along. It's doing well. It's going good. I'm staying diligent. The rear delts are looking bigger every day, though. I feel like they're growing faster than any other muscle. It's a little weird. The biceps always falling behind. Okay. I'm looking pretty good. The chest looks great today, but I'm just attributing that to the pump, okay? I'm not gonna let it get to my head so that I feel bad when I get home and the pump's gone and I'm back to small chest McGee. Can't enjoy the moment, man. I just can't. I can't let myself enjoy the moment. It's impossible. The obliques look great, though. Honestly, probably the only thing carrying my physique at this point. But the chest is looking good. I feel like this gap is getting smaller. But that might just be me hoping and praying to the fitness gods. All right. Thanks for being here, guys. We're back at it. 4 more weeks of almost no rest. I'm super excited. We've got a lot of new people joining the channel. Hey, guys. What's up? How you doing? I'm happy you're here. Stick around. Every single day, we have a question of the day. And my question of the day to you is, what is your current max song? What are you listening to when you need to lock in and move weight that you don't know if you can move or not? Let me know. And also, thanks for being here. Y'all are amazing. I appreciate you so much. It's a lot of fun doing this. And also, if I get to a point where this channel actually makes me money and stuff, I'll go to a bunch of different gyms and liven it up, you know? I know that it might get a little monotonous, but I actually really like patterns and stuff. But forget all that. We'll get there when we get there. I'll see you tomorrow for back day. So go to the gym. Go to the gym. Bye. See you tomorrow. Don't be late.